You're not a perfectionist, you're just scared. I used to say I was a perfectionist until I realised what I was really saying. I was scared of putting something out into the world that wasn't good enough. That I'd look like a fool if something I made wasn't up to scratch. Being a perfectionist is a bad thing, no matter which way you cut it. And that becomes obvious when you take this fact on board. Perfection doesn't exist. If perfect doesn't exist, the pursuit of it is bullshit. And I think you probably already know that. Deep down, you know you're just scared of putting something out into the world and being judged on it. And deep down, I knew that, but it's easier to cast aspersions on the people who finished on time and make yourself feel better by saying that you're a perfectionist. And if you're a perfectionist, what then are the people who finished on time? Were they not aiming to be as good as they could possibly be? And yes, I guess that some people might have just been coasting by, flying under the radar. But for the most part, the ones who delivered when you were just making excuses were aiming to be as good as they could be within the time limits. You have to deliver. Real artists ship. Everyone can have ideas. Anyone can start something. But to finish it, to put it out there, that's what's special. One thing that I like to do is look back at people's careers. You can do this really easy with YouTubers. You can do this pretty easily with film directors. And what I think you'll find is that what they were first putting out was pretty shitty. But they put it out there, they shipped it, they finished it. I'm sure they wanted more time to make it perfect, but they knew they didn't have that luxury. They knew they had to put it out there so they could go on and chase the next project. They could pursue better in the right way by constantly producing, by developing their skill through practice and not through perfectionism. Sitting on one project or idea, waiting for it to be perfect, is just an excuse. You'll have to get over yourself if you want to make progress. If you really want perfection, you're going to have to put out as much mediocre as you can until it stops being mediocre. Turn up, create, publish, and then move on to the next thing. You'll never have enough time or money to do the thing. So do it the best you can within the constraints that you have and learn from it. And there's a reason to be scared. There's a reason that it's tough to put your work out there before you feel like it's really ready. Watching something that you created fail and wondering if you just spent a little bit more time on it, would it have been better? Would it have been good enough? That can be tough. And research has shown that emotional pain can be the same as physical pain. Our brains experience the two in the same way. And so it does hurt, but there's ultimately a bigger, badder pain. Regret. Regret for not doing something is one of the most common things people utter on their deathbed. That's the kind of pain that cuts to your core. So the choice is between the chance of a small, fleeting pain or the certainty of a much bigger one. Because it is just a chance. Putting the thing out there on time, even if you know you could have fussed with it some more, could go badly, but it could also go really well. The pain might never come, and even if it does, it might not be as bad as you thought it was going to be. And it's not the kind of pain that lasts forever. Unless you're the kid who played Anakin Skywalker, the fact is a creative decision that you make isn't going to haunt you forever. But the regret just might. And you know what? The more stuff you put out there, the more times you do this, the smaller place that fear will occupy. It gets easier with practice. And you'll soon see that the chance of a win means a lot more than the loss. I'm taking this advice myself at the moment. Me and two friends are making our first film, and it's something that I've been putting off for a long time. Probably something to do with the excuse of being a perfectionist. Really, I was just scared. I don't have access to the best camera in the world, but we've worked to that constraint. We don't have access to any actors, so we wrote it with just one character, and one of us is going to play that character. We don't have access to any fancy locations, so we've written to that too. We've got no budget, like basically zero, but we're still going to give it a go. We're going to finish it and we're going to put it out there. And you know what? We'll move on and we'll make a second and a third. The thing is, we're never going to reach perfection, and that's okay, because we'll get really good. We'll learn things along the way, we'll have fun, and we'll make film after film, and they'll be good and they'll be interesting, and people will like them, and people will hate them. But to me, that's much better than perfect.